All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bald FC. I'm your host, the big bald man, Joao Klaus. Guys, the MLS season is starting up here pretty soon. Be prepared to start seeing some MLS content from your boy at Bald FC. We're gonna bring it back to our usual content of Premier League action from Matchday 25. We had an exciting week of matches, so let's get into some scores. Liverpool played Brentford this week, and that game ended 4-1. Liverpool retaining the top spot with a 1-point lead. A man of the match performance from Mohamed Salah, making his return from injury. He actually got injured and he had to leave AFCON. But anyways, he comes back with a goal and an assist. Just wanted to shout out Darwin Núñez for a beautiful finish there. And another shout out to Ivan Toney. Every single episode I've had to shout out Ivan Toney because he keeps scoring every week. He's 4 goals in 4 games. The second game of the week was Arsenal versus Burnley, and Arsenal thrashed Burnley 5-0. They sit in 3rd place, but their recent form has been very promising. In their last 5 games, Arsenal has scored 21 goals and let in 2. That is an insanely hot form. If you're going up against Arsenal, please beware. Villa takes on Fulham this week. Villa takes the win with an Ollie Watkins brace. Ollie Watkins scores 2 to give Villa 3 points. With another good finish from Rodrigo Muniz after his performance last week with 2 goals. Newcastle taking on Bournemouth, finishing 2-2. Newcastle comes from behind the entire match, fights back and earns 1 point, a scrappy point in the closing minutes. Dominic Solanke scores his 14th goal of the season. The Golden Boot race is heating up. I'll show a little graphic, show off some top scorers here. Spurs, Tottenham versus Wolves. Spurs loses this game 2-1. João Gomez scores 2 to bury the Spurs. My one to watch from last week did not disappoint as Manchester City played against Chelsea. Game ended 1-1 after Chelsea took an earlier lead. Rodri scores a late rocket to save a point for City. Brighton versus Sheffield. Brighton hits 5. Sheffield is just out here making every team look good. United played Luton Town, and 2-1 with all 3 goals of the game coming in the first 14 minutes of the match, I believe. 2 from Rasmus Højlund, and the second goal he scored with his big old titties. That was crazy. What a good finish. Everton tied Crystal Palace, ending 1-1. I'd also like to point out, we do have a game coming up right now. As I'm filming, it just ended. City played against Brentford from Matchday 15. Now, this was a replay when City was competing in the Club World Cup. So City took 3 points there, which brings them 1 point behind Liverpool. The title race is getting scary there. Guys, this brings us to my 3 points from Matchday 25. Number 1 is Chelsea, City's Achilles. City drops points at Chelsea for the 2nd time this season. First game this season ending 4-4. This second matchup against City was the exact opposite of that first game. The first game being very sloppy defending, high scoring, ball going back and forth on both ends. This game was a lot more controlled from City. Chelsea, of course, did take our chances when we did strike on the counter. Former citizen Raheem Sterling scoring. After Chelsea scored that goal, City held us under siege for the rest of the game. I was personally a little conflicted about how Pochettino handled the game, making a lot of defensive substitutions, when I really would have loved to see us, stay in the game. Because we were handling the defense in the first half. We showed we could. I wish we had just capitalized and gotten a second goal and get a whole 3 points because, as much as I am proud of Chelsea for getting a point out of this game against a very class side, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't shoot for full 3 points. We could have moved up to 8th place this week. Instead, we earned 1 point and stick in 10th place. Holland actually had a stinker, missed a bunch of huge chances that could have turned the game in the favor of the light blue. City also had this midweek game coming on Tuesday against Brentford as a makeup game, and they did win, and Holland would prove to be the match winner in this game to give City 3 points and pushing them above Arsenal finally after playing that game they had in hand. Point number 2, I'm giving you guys a 4th place fight update. Let's see, 3 teams battle for 4th place, all within 5 points of each other. Every week, results matter until the end of the season. We could see a shuffle between these 3 teams every single week until the end of the year. In form, Manchester United, 3 points off of Spurs, who are currently 2 points off of Aston Villa. So Villa has 49 points, Spurs on 47 points, and Man United on 44 points. United are only 3 points back. It's weird to think that before this midweek game against Brentford, Aston Villa was only 4 points off of Manchester City. Point number 3, the relegation battle. Everton has been on the verge of exiting the Premier League for the past 3 seasons. As you may have heard, they are on a 10-point deduction, financial fair play breaches, Matchday 25 that leaves them level with Luton Town on 20 points. Without that punishment, of course, they'd be up in 12th place. This team is rough. Dominic Calvert-Lewin looks to be a fragment of the player that he used to be. Couldn't score a header to save his life. He only has 3 goals and 1 assist on the season from a player that I used to, I would have loved to see at Chelsea. I will say that Beto Onana and Shite McNeil did look great today in this outing versus Crystal Palace. Let's look at some awards from the week. Player of the week. This was a hard decision to make. As you know, I shouted out Mo Salah for his man of the match performance. But then I noticed that Cody Gakpo also had a goal and assist. But I narrowed it down to 2 different players, João Gomez and Rasmus Højlund, because their brace did end up earning their squads the 3 points for this week. So, player of the week goes to João Gomez for his 2 goals over Spurs. Game of the week, of course, did not disappoint. I'm giving that to Manchester City versus Chelsea. Was an exciting game to watch for everyone involved. Just some beautiful football there. Good counterattacking from Chelsea. Amazing defending from Axel Disasi, Malo Gusto. Jeremy Doku in his pocket just shut him down. Just a great look from Chelsea's defense. Now, one to watch for next week would be Chelsea's versus Spurs is coming back around. The match is postponed, however, because Chelsea is playing against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. I'm not exactly sure when this match will be postponed to or when that game will be actually played, but for it being this game week, I'd have to say that one would be the best one, because remember earlier this season, that matchup ended 4-1, Chelsea winning, huge 3 points. And I gotta say, just don't get red cards. That's on you guys. FPL did this week. I had 77 points. That is before the bonus points from this week. I decided to captain Erling Haaland and vice captain Phil Foden. Those Manchester City players did get a double game week. So Erling Haaland actually did great, earning me, I think, 15 points. Other than that, Saka with 15, Watkins with 13, Gordon on the bench with 8. Disappointing. And Manuel Akanji with 8 points as well. Guys, that is the episode for this week. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next week for Matchday 26. All right.